Hi there and welcome back to Gray's Gardening. My name is Gray and this is my garden and allotment channel. So today the sun is shining and it's about time I got down and just gave you a quick tour of what's going on down at the plot. But if you watched my last video whereby I was building a new raised bed at the back of my greenhouse, which is just over here. This is made out of my old conservatory windows. As you can see, this is a raised bed basically made out of glass. A few plants in it at the moment. There will be a lid to go on top of it, but until I plant into it, I've just got some plants on there at the moment, basking in the sunshine. But during the video itself, I noticed that the plot was looking rather untidy. So here's the old conservatory. I've got an old greenhouse, more conservatory. There's an old goal. There's all my old pots. So today's video is a bit of a tour to show you what's growing and what's not, but also I'm just going to do a bit of a tidy up because I was a little bit embarrassed when I saw the video back and thought, wow, that looks a mess. So I'm going to try and just stack that up a bit better so it's a bit tidier, because this is the time of year when you want things to be ready for the new growing season. So as you can see, my arch needs repairing. This is actually the second arch. You can see there's two there. And it's just starting to fall a little bit, so I need to secure that on. This archway is actually designed from a Montana clematis, which is one of the earliest flowering clematis you can have. As you can see already, buds are beginning to show, but once that gets into flower, the smell, the look of it's like a light pink, and that goes right up and over my arch, but it won't be going anywhere unless I get it fixed as soon as possible. Maybe get some new stakes in the ground, maybe. In this corner is my kiwi vine. It's mostly dormant, but we can see the buds just beginning. There's a good bud. I've never had kiwis yet, and I'm told I do need to plant another vine in. So I think I'm going to buy another one to go next to this. This is in the ground. It goes up, and then last year, it grew all around this, so it's starting to grow. It is a vine, kiwi vine, and then the kiwis obviously grow along it. So it'll be very interesting to see what will happen this year. But the buds have been beginning to swell, meaning that we will soon have those new leaves. And you never know, will we get some kiwis this year? We're coming into the plot. We've got my fig tree that started to just show the first signs of life. We've got the buds starting off here, and the mini, I don't know if you can see that, but the mini little tiny at the ends there, those tiny pea-shaped things, they're going to be the new figs. So fig tree starting to come into life. There's a good example of one. That'll be a fig in the coming months. My pond looking a bit dirty. Probably lots of dead leaves and stuff like that in there, so I'm going to give that a good clean out in the coming months. Here's my apricot tree, which does give me apricots, and if you look here, you can just see the first buds beginning to swell. They go a lovely white and red colour, and this entire tree gets covered in lovely white and pink blossom. That's one of the first trees to actually go into blossom in the spring. Just here is another plant. This is the salmonberry. It's like a raspberry, but more of a yellowy coloured raspberry. And this plant actually spreads like wildfire. I planted one in, and now you can see it's shooting up everywhere. So you've got to be really careful with this that it doesn't get out of control. On the floor, we've got my topiary reindeer. You can see hopefully you can see the legs here. And the body's starting to take shape now. It's been in about 5 or 6 years, and hopefully it's going to someday look like this. Okay, well, we shall see. Just down on this bed here, it's the only bed I'm really using at the moment. I planted in my garlic, put them garlic cloves in just before Christmas, and they've started to shoot out now. So they are elephant garlic. They should be quite big. I haven't grown garlic for a number of years, so let's see how they come on. But they look healthy. They look nice. Coming over here, this was what was supposed to be my cut flower bed, and we've got a few daffodils that have started nice and early, but there's not enough for me to cut to take home really, so I'm gonna wait for the next batch to come. They're just starting to bud up nicely, and we've got lots along here. What is underneath the cardboard? Oh, here we go. We've got our rhubarb. Rhubarb has burst into life. So I think I'm going to keep the cardboard on top of it just to help it just to force it through a little bit more. But lots of rhubarb there. That was only one crown, and look, it's bursting out all over the place. So it just shows how that also spreads. Cover that back up. Need to probably just weight that down a little bit. Here's my peach tree. Again, very similar to the apricot. We've got the first buds just beginning to swell now. Won't be long until that blossoms out. Okay, the wind's taking my bamboo down. Nice bamboo, that one. There's only a couple of stalks in there to begin with, and now look at it. Always wise to keep bamboo in a pot unless you know exactly where you want it, because bamboo roots can destroy property and can spread really rapidly. So keep it in a pot unless it's somewhere that you can contain it really well. All right, let's have a little look inside the greenhouse. The door's a little bit, I don't think that's running properly. So let's give it a little bit of the old WD-40. Some along there as well. That's sliding much better now. Yeah, good old WD-40 always does the job. Every allotment should have a can of that just for emergencies. Might just put some on the bottom as well. But for now, let's get inside the greenhouse, see what's going. Nice red cordyline, looks very healthy. That's probably going to go in the ground this year. This is a pontentilla. It's covered in lovely yellow flowers, very small white flowers, but looks very attractive. Got some strawberries, which are going to be going in the new strawberry polytunnel. Here's a blueberry, new one, and a little cutting I took last year. Literally stuck the stem in, stuck it down the side of the pot, and look, the buds are starting. So that cutting's taken quite nicely. What else have we got? We've got the Chilean guava, which leaves aren't looking too good, but plant itself not too bad. Just need to know why they've now got speckled. Might be time to take him out the greenhouse actually. Here's the big blueberry that was in the ground. Took him out, planted him in a pot. Again, a couple more cuttings down there. They are literally just the stalks that I took off last year, stuck them down the side of the pot, and they are brand new blueberry plants now. That's my pomegranate, still in dormancy mode, no sign of any life just yet. Not maybe, no, that's just the end. No life on the pomegranate, but our honeyberries, got 2 honeyberry plants. These always start early. One of the first fruits I get in the garden or in the allotment, and they've already started. So the honeyberry, absolutely delicious. They grow like elongated blueberries, full of antioxidants and vitamins. Really great plant. Dead easy to grow. As you can see, these are just in the greenhouse in pots, but I think they've already started, so I'll probably need to give them a good watering now today. And then no sign yet on the grapevine. Just got to keep an eye out for when them buds are about to swell, but no sign of life yet. And then I've got a few, these were fig tree cuttings. Again, they're growing about the same rate as the master tree. And they were just put in nice gritty soil. Branches that are took off the mother tree, and now they'll be its own fig tree before we know it. That was a banana. Might have died in the frost that we had. And then this is what I was talking about in the last video. This is my marigolds that I've left in, and look at all these seeds. Every single one of them can potentially now be a new marigold plant, and that's just from one of these buds. There's tons of these. Look at the amount on here, and every one is just full of seeds. So I'll be using them to create my new plants this year. But for now, I'll scatter some of them onto the soil, and some of them will self-seed anyway. Okay, coming back outside the greenhouse. And if you're wondering what these are, if you haven't watched my earlier videos, these are my banana trees, the Musa Bajju bananas that were towering above me. They were over 12 foot high, and I cut them in half. As you can see inside there, you cut them in half, wrap them up. That's how thick, if I can get into there a little bit, that's how thick it was, the stem. Cut it back, and then this is the new banana for this year, which comes up through the center and will basically grow up and up and up, and will tower above us once again. Now, it's still pretty sturdy to push, meaning that it's not died. If that was all mushy and I could push it over, then sadly the whole thing may have died. So I'll know when it's time to take off this insulation, because these leaves will start sprouting out through the top. But for now, that banana there, and there's about 3 or 4 in here. These are all absolute giants. Again, you can see just how fat the stem is. All that is a bit mushy at the moment, but deep in there is where the new tree will come out. And if I push it, it's very, very firm, so I'm not worried. There's the new stem again. Each time we get a frost, that will die off, and then eventually the banana trees will burst out, and all this insulation can come off. That's just there to protect it over the winter. They are meant to be hardy down to -10, but you just never know. So best to be safe than sorry. Right, coming around here, you can probably see my shed is in desperate need of a good tidy. So very, very quick, brief look in there. That'll be a video coming out soon. That'll be the shed tidy. Watch this space. Okay, I'm going to plant in these two. Treated myself. I've got another blueberry. We've got the blueberry Patriot. Bought this from Tesco for £2.50, and you can hopefully just see a few buds beginning to show. So it's time to go into that pot. I've got some ericaceous compost, because a blueberry plant does need that acidic soil. So I'll do that shortly. And again, every year I treat myself to another Goldcrest conifer. Goldcrest Wilma, this one. And every year I buy one. Make sure I never spend more than £5. This one's £4. There we go. Very healthy looking tree. So I'll plant that one into a bigger pot also. Okay, final job as promised. We've got the blueberry Patriot. Yeah, blueberry Patriot, and the Goldcrest conifer that I'm just going to plant into bigger pots, more suited for it. So I'm just going to take out the blueberry. As you can see, this is how it comes. Pretty much bare root, but hopefully you can see on there, it is already starting to bud. So I picked this because I knew it was alive, and it's got plenty of stems coming off, meaning that we may even get some blueberries this year. So the first thing you want to do is take it out of the bag, obviously. In fact, I'm just going to sit that there for a moment. I've got 2 new pots. I think we'll do Goldcrest in there because it's a slightly nicer pot, and we'll go blueberry in this one. It will eventually end up in another pot. So if you watched my hack video last week, what I did was showed you that what you can place in the bottom of pots, especially ones that have got big holes in them, you can place an old cloth just over those holes, That stops all the water going right through, and especially if you've got a driveway or a path, stops the soil going everywhere, making a right mess. So put a little bit of a cloth in there, make sure it has been cleaned. You don't want any chemicals on there, obviously. And I'm going to go for the old sponge. That also just takes up a bit more space in your pot, meaning you don't need as much compost, but it will act as a reservoir or a water source for your plants. So I'm going to pop that in as well. And just see them in there. Now, things like a blueberry don't want to be sitting in any water anyway, so I'm going to add some stones just around the bottom of the pot also. That's going to help with our drainage. And blueberries need acidic soil, so this is our ericaceous soil, peat-free of course. Always make sure it's peat-free. I'm going to dump all of this into the pot. Let's hope I've got enough. I'll have enough for now anyway. Okay. Now in with our blueberry plant. Firm that around. I think I'll probably need to add a bit more ericaceous compost on the top, but you get the idea. That's now potted all nicely. I think I'll put this in the greenhouse until it warms up a little bit more. That's one done. And now pretty much the same thing for the Goldcrest. I'm not going to put any cloth in the bottom of this one. Best of all, I've run out down at the allotment, so I can't anyway, but I am going to put a load of stones in. Just really helps with the drainage. There's a couple of inches worth of stones. Got our normal multi-purpose compost now, again peat-free. Chuck that in. Firm it down, but not too firm. Again, if you saw my hack video, what you want to do really is, while you're planting this, use the pot as a mould. I'm just going to make enough room for it to go in for a start. You place it in exactly where you want it, with the plant still inside in the pot. Firm it around nicely. Then when you take the pot out, you're basically left with a mould, the exact size of the plant that you want to plant in. And there we go, nice root structure on that, not too pot bound, looks really healthy. We pop that straight in the new hole, just firm around. Might even leave that in just so I know what it is, not that you can make a mistake. Bit more compost on the top. And there we have it. Really, really nice. Looks a bit more pretty. And this will grow now to twice the size in this pot before we move it on again. So once it's all potted on, that's a £4 Goldcrest conifer. And after another year, you get one about this size, which is worth about £20. Well worth it. What a difference a quick tidy and even a little mow makes. Still a bit to do, but that's looking much better than it was. Conservatory now all together, ready for its new home. Woodshed's coming down, raised beds going in, and next to this greenhouse is going to be my new polytunnel, hopefully getting ordered this week. Right, thanks for watching everyone. If you have enjoyed that, please give me a good thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care everyone, bye now.